Hello everyone, it's about the fourth time I've tried this because my dog just keeps barking, but just wanted to come on here, give you a little sort of rundown on who I am, what I do, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So my name's Greg. I am the coach and founder of the Mindful Strength Academy. Um, I'm also a full-time emergency service worker. I've done for the last 25 odd years. Um, so going back a few years, maybe three, 3.5 years ago, maybe now, um, I started to suffer um, from really bad insomnia, which sort of led on to um, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, which kind of formed in things like nightmares and flashbacks due to some quite traumatic incidents that I dealt with in my role at work. Um, so it took me a little while to sort of recognise what I was going through, especially with the post-traumatic stress disorder. I guess I come from like a very male-dominated mindset when it comes to dealing with these sort of issues. You know, brush it off, dust yourself down, get on with it. You're a bloke. Um, these are sort of things for sort of weak people, but obviously they're not. And after a few months of constant nightmares, the panics, the burnout, um, the depression, which I can only describe as just not feeling sad, just feeling empty, having sort of no energy, get up and go. And at the time, um, I was married, got my children. I had a stepson who's was like my own. Um, on paper, I sort of had it all. I thought I was with my soulmate, um, but I think the what was going on in my head was slowly sort of pushing my then wife away, which led to us to split up amongst other things, but kind of helped. So I got to a point about 3 years ago, 3 and a bit years ago, where I was so tired, I was so drained, I had no sort of zest for life, and I didn't feel like I was a good person to be around. I was paranoid. I The gym was like a huge part of my life, and I didn't have the energy to train because I hadn't slept, and I was just all over the place. And I got to a point a few times where I felt that the only way out of this was to take my life. Um, there was a couple of occasions where I took some tablets, saved up some antidepressants that the doctors had put me on. There's even a time when I went to a train station after taking a lot of tablets, ended up going to A&E. I just couldn't see a way out. I just thought I was broken. I was losing everyone around me. I was losing my identity. Couldn't ever see myself sort of getting better. And it's so difficult to. It's not like an illness where you're throwing up or you're having treatment or you can see it in someone like physically. It was just in my head. I just was so sort of finished with life that I just thought, for everyone's sake, like I can have a month of sadness until the funeral, they can get on with their life and be happy again without me being around, dragging everyone down, being moody, being miserable, being lethargic, just not wanting to enjoy life, just getting up, going to work, being unhappy. And at the time, I had nothing to be unhappy about at work. At home, I was, with someone who I thought I was going to be with forever, my children around me. Um, but there was nothing I could do about it. It was just beating me. Um, I was sent to a rehabilitation centre for 5 days with my work, where they taught me. We touched a little bit on grounding and breath work and meditation and journaling, as much as I could over sort of 5 days. Met some great people, came back and thought, I'm cured. I'm that's it now. Just got to do this. I just need to go and stand on the mud in the mornings, do some breath work, and everything will be all right. Which it was for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it all came crashing down again. I sort of took my eye off the ball and got worse than ever, to a point where I was actually at my stepson's sports day, and the police came to see me because I attempted to take my life that day. Ended up going to A&E. I'm saying them a lot because it's quite it's quite a hard thing to come out with, especially on the internet. Taken to A&E, came back. My wife then said that she wanted me to leave, which I don't blame her for. Her main fear was that she was going to come home one day and either the police were going to knock at the door to say I jumped in front of a train, or she was going to find me dead in a bed upstairs and have to deal with that. So I never sort of blamed her for that. Some people just aren't or can't deal with other people's sort of mental health issues, especially when I guess if you are in love with someone and you are thinking you're happy and that person's saying they're unhappy but not with you, it's a hard thing to sort of get your head around. So we split up. I moved away, she moved away, and then I slowly started to rebuild my life. Still in emergency services, but we're still going through that at the moment, where I'm hoping to get ill health retirement, because my job is the main factor in the way I felt over the last couple of years. I've been under crisis teams and community teams, and I've had care workers. I rattle with the amount of medication I take, just to keep me on a sort of stable footing. But then I sort of found my mojo back in the gym. I've always been quite a big strong lad, but I don't know, I just push myself to train every day, even if it's like an active rest day. Training is sort of my life. Still got my children. Got a dog that keeps me busy, a Belgian Malinois called Luna, who's full of energy, full of bounce, full of happiness and life. And then I felt the gym and being around people in the gym is like my happy place. So I went out and got some qualifications, got my level 2, my level 3 personal training qualifications, pushed on and got a level 4 in health and nutrition, health and performance nutrition, some strength and conditioning, some kettlebells, medicine balls, suspension training, and then I did a qualification in some breathwork techniques, which has been an amazing tool to have whenever sort of times get a bit tough. And now I do it every single day, and I know it's cliche to grounding and breath work, and when I did it for a short time a couple of years ago, it didn't really benefit me, but I do it every day without fail now. Then I have slowly started to take up some classes in gyms, got my own classes, got my own boot camp. I am starting to take some breathwork classes in a nearby sort of holistic hub. And don't get me wrong, I still battle the demons. I still am on medication, but this is just for people out there that when you feel like people will be better off without you around, they're not. That's never true. I look back now and I think the devastation I'd have left behind with my children and my parents and my sister and my nieces and nephews. There is always a way. There's always someone to speak to. There's always a turning point. And if I can be that turning point, just reach out to me. If you need some advice on some training or some nutrition or some wellness plans, just give me a message. Find me on Instagram on the Mindful Strength Academy, but never face it alone. Always, there's always someone out there to speak to and to reach out to, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So stay strong and keep following me for more stuff around coping techniques, around gym workouts, nutrition, breath work, and hopefully, you know, we can keep moving forward together. But I hope I've not been too boring. I have tried to record this video at least 6 times now, with hay fever, a dog who keeps barking at next door's lawnmower. Yeah, so keep watching. If you can subscribe, I think that's a good thing, because I hear everyone else out on YouTube, but I'm not quite sure how that works. Find me on Instagram as well, drop me a follow, and let's stay strong together. Take care, people.